Welcome to this edition of Newswatch. I'm Autumn Cole.
And I'm Craig McElwee.
The Jessamine Journal reports that Jessamine County Public Schools have seen a slight drop from 1.2% in the rate of college-bound graduating seniors from 2010 to 2011. According to the report, 61% of graduating high school seniors in 2011 enrolled in a college or university, compared to 62.2% in 2010. Jessamine County graduates mostly stayed in Kentucky, with 7% attending schools in other states. The students who stayed in the Kentucky enrolled in schools such as Asbury University, University of Kentucky, and the University of Louisville. In other news, at least 6 people are dead after strong winds and tornadoes hit the Midwest on Sunday. CNN's Andrew Spencer reports dozens of homes throughout the region were destroyed. As Thanksgiving draws near, this is a busy time for charitable organizations. Jake Slaughter reports on how one local charity is preparing to help out those in need. A local singing group has been selected for a chance at national fame. The Acousticats, a University of Kentucky a cappella group, will be featured on the next season of NBC's The Sing-Off. The reality show will showcase 10 a cappella groups as they compete for a $100,000 grand prize. The show begins December 9th and will continue until the finale on December 23rd. Both the men's and women's swim teams took to the pool this past weekend and came out on top. The Eagle swimmers defeated Milligan College and Campbellsville University. The men improved their record to 4-4 and the women bumped theirs to 2-5. The teams hit the water next in Barberville, Kentucky as they swim at the Union College Winter Invitational December 6th. That will do it for sports and for us this morning. I'm Autumn Cole.
Thanks.
Hello, and welcome to Highbridge Highlights, where we get to interview past filmmakers who were recently selected. Oh no, I messed that up. Previously.
It's all good. 8 seconds.
Yeah. 8 seconds.
You ready? Yep. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, and welcome to Highbridge Highlights, where we. Oh no, I'm messing up.
You're all right. You're all right. Just take a deep breath.
It's all good. Take a breath. All right, I'm ready. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, and welcome to Highbridge Highlights, where we usually interview past filmmakers who were recently accepted into the film festival, but today is a little bit different. We get to interview the co-founder of the Highbridge Film Festival, Professor Bandy.
Hi. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, no worries. So, Professor Bandy, could you give us a little bit of an insight of how the Highbridge Film Festival was created?
Well, actually started with my very first interview here at Asbury University. At the time it was the college with Dr. Owens. We were sitting on a picnic table out in front of Kresge, and I said, if I come here and teach, could we ever possibly have a film festival? He said, oh yeah, we can do that. It wasn't until a few years later when Jeff Day arrived and Dr. Owens was out of town that he and I put our heads together with Dr. Owens' blessing, and we worked very hard and we did basically everything ourselves, including making the tickets, selling concessions, figuring out how to stage the whole thing. We did the whole thing. It was like a second full-time job almost, but it went off. Asbury audiences are very affirming. We had some nice crowds and it went very well and encouraged us to continue.
Great. So, you guys started in the old gym, and now you guys have gone up all the way to Hughes Auditorium. And for those of you who are watching, that's a big difference. Now, what were the differences in the audiences and the films? What has all progressed?
Well, it was a great progression. The second year we did it in the old theater, which was a gym when I was here, it was very hot. There was no air conditioning. We used to have to show it over 2 nights because we could only fit 350 people into the old gym or theater. So Dr. Owens suggested that we move it over to Hughes, which we did, which immediately gave us a much larger air-conditioned venue. We also had some fantastic donors that gave us the resources we needed to purchase our own screening equipment, and that was a huge aspect for our budget. The second thing was the Lilly Grant under the direction of Dr. Mike Peterson also enabled us to have some financial footing to start bringing in judges from the outside. In the old days, we just did it ourselves with our friends that were interested in film, but the audiences went up, the film quality went up, the whole thing improved as we went through the years.
Great. So, at the start, how many were in the audience compared to now?
We only had about 350 that could fit into that old gym, and we were borderline on the fire code there, so we had to watch it. But we had a packed house both nights when we did it. But it was nice to get over into Hughes. It just worked much better and just a much nicer venue.
Good. So for this year's Highbridge Film Festival, what should the viewers expect for the presentation, for the after party? What can you give us a little something?
Well, one of the great things that happened is here in the department, we decided to create a class called Special Events, Promotions, and Productions. And that class is actually made up of advanced students who have taken advanced courses, and they actually produce the entire event now. And what's great is when you have 20 young creative people, the quality just keeps going up. They come up with the themes, and they have upped it a notch every year. The festival itself has become a production with hosts and hostesses. We're broadcasting it on the internet now through webcast service. It's really quite exciting, and it's great to see so many students get involved. One of my dreams of this was that we would give students more opportunities to hone their storytelling skills and encourage them by bringing in an audience of about 1,400. We have pretty much a standing room only in Hughes now. And so the whole campus, the whole community is invited, and they get to see all the hard work of these 12, 13 films that are selected for the premiere screening on Saturday night.
Wow, that's awesome. So thank you so much, Professor Bandy, for coming in and giving us a little inside scoop about the whole Highbridge Film Festival. And for you viewers watching, make sure you guys buy your tickets either online or on campus. And the film festival is Saturday, April 25th. Yeah. The closing was a little rough. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch. I'm Autumn Cole. According to the Jessamine Journal, gas prices for heating houses in Kentucky have gone up 19% since last year. However, according to Chairman of the Public Service Commission, David Armstrong, prices are still relatively low and increases in the production of gas will soon lead to price stability. As winter approaches, people are encouraged to use gas sparingly as the continued increase in price will directly correlate with the overall usage. While eating in the cafeteria can get tiring for Asbury students, eating out can be expensive. Some students are looking to Wilmore restaurants for more discounts. This suggestion has brought about a wide range of opinions as to whether more discounts should be offered or not. Most Wilmore businesses declined to comment on the issue, but Solomon's Porch said if they offered student discounts, they would have to raise their prices. Subway offers a slight discount but cannot afford to offer a higher one due to the price of food. Regardless, many students say that even without discounts, they will continue to eat out around Wilmore because it is quick, easy, and offers a break from the cafeteria. Christmas music has hit Central Kentucky airwaves once again. Jake Slaughter explains why one area's radio station has started cranking out the carols so early. Mix 94.5 is also granting Christmas wishes to less fortunate families this year. Log on to their website at mymix945.com for more details. In other news, Asbury Sports brought home many victories this weekend. Asbury's men's soccer team moved forward in the conference tournament as they overpowered Cincinnati Christian University with a 4-0 victory. Late in the hard-fought first half, sophomore Jesse Peterson put one in to give the Eagles the lead going into halftime. After the break, junior Austin O'Brien finished a header off of a corner kick, soon to be followed with a goal by junior Billy Congleton. Finishing up the night offensively was a goal from just outside the box by senior Caleb Griffin. This win sends the Eagles to the tournament semifinals against Talladega College Thursday, in hopes of making it to the tournament championship. Asbury hosts the Great Commission Congress annually to make students more aware of sharing the gospel and working with missions. This year, a husband and wife team is here to share their experiences and wisdom with students. Reporter Gwendolyn Sipkowski has the information. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Newswatch. We hope you will join us again next week. Hello, and welcome to Highbridge Highlights, where we interview past filmmakers who have recently been accepted into the film festival. so we get to see the whole experience through the storyteller's eyes. Now today in the studio, we have Brown Rig Wools. Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thanks.
Great. So last year, your film was accepted into Highbridge Film Festival. Could you give us a little insight on your film, To Doris?
Yeah, I heard that Doris, the postmaster at the SIPO, was retiring after 35 odd years. And I just wanted to know her story. I wanted to know what she was thinking, what she was going through, what she's going to feel, and how it kind of would impact the school. And so I filmed her.
Great.
Yeah.
So Doris, she's the manager at SIPO.
Mm-hmm.
How or what relationship did you have with her? Did you work at SIPO, which is the campus post office?
No, I just ran into her like we all have done in the past before she left. And I knew she's a very genuine person. And I knew that she oftentimes had her emotions on her sleeve. And so I just thought that, it would be a great way to tell a story. My story senses kind of went off, and I was like, I should grab this. Even if I don't get anything, I should at least attempt it. And so I guess the relationship was just from seeing her and then approaching her with the idea and saying, hey, do you mind if I follow you around for XYZ days?
Ah, great.
Mm-hmm.
So you were just talking about emotion. And last year I watched in the Highbridge Film Festival, I was there, and I watched the film To Doris, and it was very emotional. I started tearing up. What was the mood or experience following her around?
Well, it was honestly, it was very analytic for me. I didn't have a story in my mind. I had no idea what I was walking into when I started filming. So it was just like frantic mode, like get everything you possibly can, and maybe in the edit room able to get some emotion in there. But I literally, it was very rudimentary. I plugged a little lav mic into my iPod, and I put it in her pocket and laved her up, and she would walk around and just talk to people and stuff. And then I would just run around like with a camera and like just get B-roll shots. And sometimes I'd interview her while she was working, and we had an opportunity where she'd sit down, and then the bell would ring, and she had to get up and go attend to someone, and she'd come sit back down again. So it was very weird, but like I said, in the edit room is usually where you can start drawing that emotion and see the story come together, which it did.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Brown Rig, for coming into the studio today. And for you viewers watching, here's the film, To Doris. Hi, and welcome to the Highbridge mini-series, where we get to interview past filmmakers who have recently been accepted into the festival. So we get to see the whole experience through the storyteller's eyes. For our first episode, we have Nathaniel Winkler. Hello, Nathaniel.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So how many films have you submitted into Highbridge / how many have been accepted?
I have submitted 5 films into Highbridge, 4 of which got in. The first one was freshman year. It was really horrible. But the other few were animated movies, and those had good enough stories to get in, so I'm excited.
Great. So last year you accepted a film or submitted a film. Could you give us a little snippet about what
Yeah.
it was about?
Last year's film was Le Spark. And Le Spark was a short film about 2 fireflies that are on a date, and things just go horribly wrong. And by the end, you just learn to forgive.
Great. So I have to ask, why fireflies? What inspired you to pick the bug fireflies?
So it's actually kind of a sad story. I was outside one day walking to actually the MediaCom building, and unfortunately I noticed a house on fire just to the side, and I was like, what is going on? And so I went over there, venture and everything, and it got me thinking, what would it be like if something super small created a gigantic fire? What would it look like? And that was the origin of the story for Le Spark. It changed many, many times from that point on, but its core idea of a round fire was initiated by another house being on fire, as sad as that is.
Wow, I did not expect that. Okay, so Le Spark, it's an animated film.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the big differences between animated and live action shooting?
Oh my goodness. There is the biggest difference really has to do with the order of production. In live action, you create a script, you go out, find locations, you shoot, you edit, you create a score, and you finalize the film. In animation, everything's almost backwards. So you create the script, and then you go into what's called the storyboarding phase, and you basically edit your film around these storyboards. From those storyboards, you create locations. From those locations, you create scenes, animate them, and then that creates the final film.
Awesome. So your film got accepted.
Yep.
And it won multiple awards as well. How was that experience? How did you feel?
Oh my goodness, that was so exciting. It's hard to describe what it's like to be just super proud of your team. That was really my biggest response. Like, it's not me at all. Like, it was all 22 of us that were on set.
Well, thank you so much, Nathaniel, for this interview and coming in.
Yeah.
So here's our first short presentation by Nathaniel Lace Bark.